Did I ever tell you guys that back in high school I was a bit of a theater kid? I actually had never signed up for a play before, and I never thought I would. There was this teacher that I really admired, and I apparently was one of her favorite students. She would come up to me every day my senior year, and she'd say, "Barry, you have to be in one of my plays. You gotta be in one of my plays this year. You'd be perfect at it, and you'd love it." I was always kind of against the idea. I don't know what it was. It was just like, nah, I don't really think I want to do that. And she was like, "Barry, you've got to." She did this throughout the entire year until eventually I said yes, and I was in a couple plays that year, and I had a great time. After high school, this same teacher got me involved in a small theater in the community that I live in. I had so much fun at this theater, and there were a lot of funny moments. Like, for example, in one of the plays I was in, all the girls called me barrylicious, which I thought was really funny. But there was this one day, the director was doing roll call, and he was calling everybody's name. For some reason on the list, my last name was the one that showed up first. So he's sitting there trying to pronounce it, and he can't. He's like, Windrich, Weedick, wonderrod. So from that point forward, my nickname was barrylicious wonderrod. This is a good segue into the story that I'm about to tell you because it was my wonderrod that got me in trouble. This is one of the most embarrassing stories that has ever happened to me. And when you think about this, you think, okay, well, you probably choked on stage or something. But really, it doesn't have much to do with the play at all. So it was wintertime and we were performing a Christmas Carol version of Sherlock Holmes. I got myself ready to go. I put a few layers on since it was freezing cold outside, and I went out to my beat up 1986 Mazda B2000 pickup truck. It was actually so cold, it was a little difficult to get the truck started this day, but eventually I did, and I started making my way down the freeway. Now, it only takes about 30 minutes to get to the theater so long as I'm going about 60 miles an hour. Problem was, the snow was coming down, and so the traffic was only going about 30. When I realized I was going to be a little late, I decided to give the director a call. "Hey, I'm going to be a little late today. I'm still going to make it way before the show, but I just want to let you know traffic's a little weird right now." He cuts me off and he goes, oh shoot, sorry, I thought I called everybody. We're snowed in, so we're not going to be able to perform today anyway, so you can just go back home." I was like, oh, okay. So I pull off into the next town, turn myself around, get on the on-ramp to get back to my house. But now there's a problem. See, this was one of the worst winter storms we'd ever had, and a blizzard had just blown through. Traffic went from 30 miles an hour down to 2 miles an hour, or 3 if you were in the fast lane. And I had to pee. Now, I had to pee a little bit before I left, but this got really bad, and I realized at the speed we were going, it was going to take me about 2 hours to get back to my house, and I really had to pee. And you know the feeling I'm talking about here. This isn't just, oh, I'll find the next rest stop. This is, I'm going to burst at any second. My hands are shaking, my body is shaking, I'm about to explode. You know when you have to pee so bad, you start getting angry at yourself for not being able to control your body better? That's where I was, and I realized based on where I'm at, it's going to take me so long before I actually get back home and can relieve myself. I realized I wasn't going to make it, and there was nothing that was going to save me. I was going to burst all over the inside of my truck. That's when I looked down and noticed that there was a vitamin water bottle under the passenger seat. I looked at it thinking, wait a minute, I keep my vehicles really clean. That's not mine, and I don't have a lot of passengers in here. I don't know who that belongs to. I mean, I guess it has to be mine. Unless God saw me. God saw the situation I was in and reached his hand down in loving kindness to save my life. I reached for the water bottle as fast as I could. I spun the cap off and drank the remains. I wasn't Barry anymore. I was an animal. I unzipped my jeans and let nature take its course. And the relief was amazing. Until in the fast lane, going about 3 miles an hour, entered this big silver 4x4 pickup truck. Inside the pickup truck were 2 of the most beautiful girls I've ever seen in my life. One of them looks down and notices what I'm doing, and then she starts laughing. She then motions her friend to look down too, and now they're both laughing at me. And I'm sitting there looking up at them like, yep. This is the situation we're in. Nice to meet you. They drove forward with laughter on their face as I sat there with my wiener stuck in a water bottle. I was relieved, out of pain, but my ego was bruised. Every so often I think back to that moment when someone asks, what would you have done differently? Honestly, I would have gotten out of my truck and wrote my phone number in the snow with my piss.